sometimes people look down on horror, look down on action, and look down on comedy, whereas serious drama, oh my god, it's like the pinnacle of cinema. The way I shoot fight sequences, each shot is like a jigsaw piece. So there's no like combining takes. There's no piecing it together from a bunch of different versions of that shot. It's a micro slot shot which is 2 seconds long, and within that 2 seconds he has to know where he is in terms of the consistency of the emotional part of the fight scenes. He has to be able to build up a sense through a thread line throughout that fight of starting, like you say, starting off calm and then getting more emotional, more aggressive and more strong, and then by the end of it having that utter desperation. And that's all chopped up into 2 second shots, 197 of them over 10 days. So for me, like, that's a good performance too, and it shouldn't be overlooked in the as like just it's just fighting.
Obviously you're trying to put your character's emotions through how you fight, but is it hard to keep some of your own emotion coming through as well?
Untuk dari ini baru pertama kali ada orang tanya seperti ini untuk adegan fighting, dan tahu ya.
Apa?
Ini pertama kali orang tanya tentang koreo.
Oh iya.
Karena dari emosi. Dan ya, saya fighting dengan untuk levelnya bagus ya. Dari pertama mungkin lebih tenang. Tenang semakin lama semakin emosi. Mungkin dari situ saya buat bisa untuk nambah adrenalinnya, lebih ekspresi emosinya. Yeah.
He said sorry, I gotta go back now. He was talking about how when he's prepping to do a fight and stuff like that, it's like at the start of the fight there's this feeling of like of calm, almost like a sort of like a focused element to it, where it's like he'll look at the opponent and be like I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win this. And then as that fight progresses, if it's like a long fight like the kitchen fight was, then there's this thing where there's like a slow progression up in terms of his character, like more emotional, more desperate, like more sort of like aggression. And he said that like it's purely from a character place. So and this comes down to the thing of like the trust that the fighters have between each other. This idea that like when if he accidentally punched the guy in the kitchen fight in the eye and the nose for real, which he did, they're both totally cool about it. They both know that it's an accident, and there's not going to be like there's that importance to kind of not let your emotional performance tip over into reality.
You hold yourself back.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But at the same time, there's this like responsibility between them as fighters as well. Like if he accidentally does connect for real, the worst thing he could do is immediately go, "Oh, are you okay?" Because if he does that, I can't use the shot. And then that guy got punched for no reason whatsoever. Basically, it's like you hit someone by accident. You wait till I say cut, and then you say sorry.
Is there any problem with making violence look quite so gorgeous?
I don't think so. I think it's one of these things where, for me, I've never ever believed that there is like a correlation between screen violence and real life violence. I think like anyone that is violent is inherently violent to begin with, regardless of anything they see or regardless of anything they hear. That's got to be within this person's character. Because God knows I've seen a ton of violent movies, and I've only ever been in 3 fights my entire life. And they were rubbish fights as well. But like for me it's like what we're doing is like not to kind of make a film which kind of repulses, but to kind of like make a film which kind of creates this weird little communal atmosphere in the cinema. So these punchline moments in those fight scenes, those little extreme moments, they're peppered throughout. Pardon me, sorry. Those scenes which are peppered throughout. Thanks for highlighting them more. They're designed in a way. They're designed in a way to kind of like elicit this reaction from an audience, so that when that first extreme scene happens and everyone kind of sighs or goes ooh or whatever, they realize that there's somebody else sat down here, somebody else sat down here, somebody else sat behind who's done the same thing at the same time. And then all of a sudden you get this like awkward beat, and then you start laughing because you just realize the ridiculousness of it.